Hello, this is RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Mobile Weekly / Mobile Q&A, where we go over all the latest news that happened during the week of mobile and answer your questions live. If you have a question you want to ask, just ask it in the comments section down below, and I will answer it before the end of the show. It has been a very interesting week in tech, and although not as many rumors, the rumors and news that we're getting are kind of interesting. So let's get into the news. So the first three are just going to be about the Galaxy Fold 2. I do apologize if there is some lag. It looks like my CPU is running very hot again. So as we know, that's kind of been going on for the past few times. So I do apologize. Again, hoping to get a new computer at the end of the year if finances allow. So for Unpack 2, it is official. Samsung released this official picture now, and it is happening on my birthday on Tuesday, September 1st. And of course, Samsung's going to send me one as a gift. Right, Samsung? Right? But yeah, no, what we are going to get is basically it's going to work like this. It'll be at 7 a.m., the time when the announcement is going to happen. And at Pacific time, 10 a.m. Eastern. And basically, I just expect a regular kind of thing in terms of like, they're going to announce the Fold 2. I don't know if they're going to have any one more things or any kind of secrets. I mean, it has been very well hidden if it has. The latest thing that we recently got was a Trio charger that you can get from them, which I think would be really cool to have. It's a Trio wireless charger, so you can charge up to 3 things at the same time. That is pretty cool, obviously, for your phone, your watch, and your buds. That's a great way to go. So, I don't know, we'll have to see how it goes overall when it comes to that, but I don't expect any surprises, including the price point and official dates. So, it looks like the 18th is going to be the official launch date. September 18th. Will be the actual launch date for the Fold 2, and you'll be able to pre-order it on September 2nd unless you've already reserved it. Then you should be able to pre-order it on the 1st. So that's how it will go basically for everyone who did not reserve it. You're going to be able to pre-order it on September 2nd, Wednesday. If you did reserve it, then you should be able to pre-order it officially on Tuesday once you get your email. So that's how it looks to be going down. We'll have to wait and see if that's how it goes, but that's basically what it seems like to be. Now, what about price point? It is looking like it will definitely be $1,980, $1,999, basically very similarly priced to what it previously was. Now in the UK, it did go down based on the pre-orders, which already have happened in the UK. And that was for $1,799, which before the original Fold was $1,900. So that's a $100 difference, $100 less, right? But what we're hearing is that might not translate to the US, and it will in fact just be about that same time. So we'll have to see how it does, but it's looking like it will be 1,900 to 1,000 1,900 to 1,999 is basically what we're looking at. So between $100 difference of last year's model. I would hope that it would be $100 less, but we'll have to wait and see. It looks like it would be around that price point. What do you guys think, and are you excited? It will only come in Mystic Bronze and Black, and 256 gigs seems to be the storage. No 512 version this time available. Again, we'll have to see how it comes out, but definitely we'll have to see how it is. Yes, there is an Unpacked. It's called the Part 2. So when Samsung released this, they literally just called it Unpacked Part 2. And it's just kind of like redoing what we're getting. If you didn't know too, the Tab S7 was postponed because it was supposed to come out the same day as the Note. Now it's coming out the same day as the Fold. It's coming out September 2nd as well. If you reserved it, you should be able to pre-order it as of September 1st, and the launch date will be the same. It's going to be the 18th now. So it got pushed back almost a whole month. So that was a pretty big pushback that no one really talked about. No one kind of batted an eye towards, because again, it was just like, oh, well, the Fold's coming out at that time. Yeah, maybe that's what they meant. But at the Unpacked event, they said that the Tab S7 was supposed to come out the same day. So it was supposed to come out the same day as a Note. They pushed it back, and it's basically going to come out September 18th now as well. All right, now as for the iPhone 12, the iPhone 12 looks to be having the same triple camera setup, no bigger megapixels in terms of the megapixel size. It will have a new LiDAR sensor, so the LiDAR sensor will be added to it. That is basically like the time of flight camera, but this has been exceedingly done a much better job. So it's mainly to deal with AR, but they're probably going to try to push it towards, you know, a live bokeh effect for video as well, as Samsung has had and Huawei has had ever since they started using those time of flight sensors. And again, the LiDAR should do a bit of a better job, so we'll have to wait and see how it goes. But yes, what we're looking at is basically getting larger sensors. So they will be the same megapixels, but the actual sensor size is going to be bigger, which should cause better low light and overall better details, which is important because, like, if you remember when we used to do all of our camera comparison videos, it really always, Apple had a hard time with the camera comparison because when it came to detail, they were always pretty much last. Like, they could beat in color reproduction, they could even beat in a few other categories, sometimes even in low light. I think they won depending on the competitor, but man, have they just never had that good of a quality when it comes to detail. This one could be the main one to kind of change it around. We'll have to wait and see. I'm very curious to see how it goes. Then we got a new image for an iPad Air. Now, usually the iPads come out in October, November, so I don't expect it to be at the announcement in September 10th for Apple, but I do expect it to be closer to, typically it is announced at the end of October to the beginning of November. Who knows with delays if that might change it, but the whole idea is they're finally getting rid of the button. So the button will not be there anymore, and it will be kind of like a full screen iPad. You can bet it will have face unlock, so it will keep some of the bezel, but it has shrunken down obviously in comparison. And finally, the iPad Airs will not have the entire home button anymore. You will also have the smart pin connectors to connect to a different kind of keyboards and sensors. So yeah, that is going to be the new iPad Airs coming out to basically round out the rest of the iPad so that they all look more similar than the old school home button press style. Then we have the LG Wing, and this one is kind of interesting. A lot of people have been like, okay, what really is this phone? My biggest question about this phone is, how do you put it in your pocket? Like, so the concept of this phone is this screen looks like it'll be able to move up or down, meaning that you will be able to type on your keyboard while viewing a big screen. Really cool. Or you would be able to see your navigation on top. So say if you move the top part down, so it's at the bottom, the top part can give you navigation while you're seeing something else on your main screen. I guess you could call it the landscapes display. And then the top part of your portrait display is having your navigation, while this one is at the bottom and then watching something else. Interesting. Very different. The original rumor, though, kind of blew everyone like, no, 1,600. But now we are hearing that the updated rumor is that it will be around $1,000 when it hits the US. That makes it a lot more interesting. It will have the Snapdragon 765 processor, so a mid-range processor with 5G. And honestly, that processor has seemed to do quite well from what we've seen in most cases. It really only gets bogged down with gaming and certain things of that nature. But it's a very interesting thing. If the Wing launches for about $1,000 and this is LG's new phone, interesting. That's all I can say for it. I'm very interested to see how this will go. I think, we'll see the value in it versus the standard LG phones. And I do agree with LG that they have to do something different. This is different. So we'll have to wait and see how it goes and if it's successful. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you like the idea of this device, or are you kind of like, no, what is LG doing? Again, my thing is like, how do I put it? Can it actually fold so that they're both portrait? Because that would be frankly needed if I'm putting it in my pocket. Like, how do you fit that in your pocket otherwise? You can't. I just don't know. The pocket is driving me crazy. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. That would be my biggest concern about this, is that it's funky looking, it's interesting, maybe we can make it work, but you have to be able to fold it somehow so that it fits in your pocket and cases and something. It just has to, I believe, at least. All right, guys, that was the news for this week. If you have any questions you want to ask, just ask them in the comment section down below, and I will answer it before the end of the show. Okay. Hey, Gene from Australia. How are you doing? What time is it in Australia? Is it like daytime, morning, afternoon? I'm very curious on that, actually. I don't know the differentiation in time from there. I know London, but I don't know Australia. So I'm very curious. What time is it over there? I'm guessing it would be earlier in the day. I don't know. Hey, what's up? What's up, Flash? Hey, what's up, TFR60? Hey, Ricky, never miss a show. I'm looking for a simple, cheap, less than 500 touchscreen phone for my mom. Any recommendations? She doesn't want a flip phone. Okay, so simple and cheap are one qualifier, but so my easy go-to would be the Pixel 4a. It is an amazing phone, great battery life, great camera quality, $350. Amazing, like really awesome. The thing is stock Android, I would say, isn't the most simple. It is, but it depends on how simple, because you're talking about she doesn't want a flip phone. So my dad was always on flip phones, right? She was always on flip phones. So when I ended up switching him over to a smartphone, I had to switch him to a Samsung phone. The reason being is Samsung has a mode called simple mode, or easy mode back then. I think now they call it simple mode. Let me actually check that. And if you have a Samsung phone, you can check this out. It's in your settings. And is it under display? Yes, it's under display. And then it's called easy mode. This is a very, very dead simple mode that basically is as simple as a smartphone can get. You actually even lose certain features so that your phone doesn't get so complicated in that mode. But that one I would really recommend for that reason. So let's go to Amazon and see what Samsung phones are for under 500 that could possibly work. Again, the Pixel 4a would be a great recommendation, but that's my problem with it, that it might not be as easy or as simple for that case scenario. I will share it. It looks like it is sold out still on Amazon. It is the best-selling unlocked phone currently right now on the market. Again, telling you how great it is. And the one thing I will say about the Pixel 2 is if she loves taking photos, she will absolutely fall in love with this one. So this one is the Pixel 4a. So that's that one. And then let's check out what else we can get. So Samsung, let's see, how expensive is the S10 right now? You can get a renewed S10 for under $485, but I don't know if you want that. You can get a S10 Lite, really good, has 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs storage, a little bit of a lower camera quality compared to the irregular S10s, but does have a really strong battery, 4,500. So that might be a good one. So this is the Galaxy S10 Lite, and again, they do have simple mode, and that's why I'm recommending them. So that is, and that one's brand new. So, and it'll work with T-Mobile, AT&T, Metro, Straight Talk, any of the GSM carriers in the US. So then we have, what are the latest A series? How about the A71? So yeah, looks like we can get it. LTE, US, Latin America, okay, and then we have the A71, the non-5G model. So, which honestly, she probably doesn't need 5G. No one does too much. It comes in 3 different colors, mind you. So I'm just gonna go for this one. It's the standard black, but they do have a blue one and a white one if you wanted to check out those. And that is $419. Great phone, seems like all around. Again, it's unlocked. It has 128 gig storage, 6 gigs of RAM. That's awesome. The S10 Lite was a bit better, just so you know, in terms of the category. But in terms of cameras, 64, 12 wide, 5, it's not that good, but yeah, solid all-around phone for the price, so that might be another one. So that'll be the third option I give you. Samsung A71. Hopefully one of those work. All right, let's get back to the show. There's an Unpacked in September. Yep, I already answered that. Ricky, the man on top of the hour. Yeah, I didn't get to go right away. Sorry, I do apologize for that. Watching wrestling, putting baby to sleep, and all that kind of stuff. It's all adds up. Ricky, what are your thoughts on the LG Wing? I think it's interesting. It's different, and I think we need that. You know, I think the whole part is that if you don't want just a regular slab and you want something different, you have to take chances. The interesting part is again, how those features will be implemented. And yeah, I'm very curious on how they will be implemented overall. Have you been having issues with your Whitestone dome glass screen protector? I have a chip, both of mine never dropped the Note 20 Ultra. No, well, I did have an issue, but it wasn't the Whitestone's fault, I would say. I've been testing out, I've put over 20 cases on my phone, and one of them had like a front bumper. Don't have any of them out right now. Oh, wait. Okay. So it was something like this, where it had a front bumper. What I mean by that is, this kind. So there's nothing inside of it. There's no screen protector inside of it. But this snapped onto it, and when I took it off, it caught it. So the corner was peeling slowly, and it eventually came off. So I wouldn't blame that on the Whitestone dome glass. That was only on one. I decided, because I had more cases like that, I would not install my second screen protector till I was done with all of these. So I do have another one kind of waiting, but I have a whole another set of cases to test out. Some Samsung official cases, some all these different kind of cases. So all the cases and accessory reviews will be coming towards the second half of the week. And then on Tuesday, we're gonna have the how to speed up and how to save battery life video. I've already recorded it, just need to edit it. Tomorrow, we're gonna have this 17-inch portable display, gaming display, that looks absolutely amazing. You're gonna have that tomorrow. So yeah, lots of videos coming out, and should be fun. I'm happy that I'm back in the groove of kind of doing, more than 5 videos per week, and you will definitely be seeing that. Hidden feature should come out by next Friday as well. Can you recommend me a mechanical gaming keyboard for under $70? So I actually don't typically go for mechanical gaming keyboards. I have had some extra keyboards for just like to have an extra keyboard. One quality that I really did like, I'm trying to see if I can see it for under 70 bucks. I mean, you do have some razors for under 70 bucks, $64.99 for a razor, 10% off. I'm seeing if the brand though, they had a gaming mouse that I really did like, and it was like the best one for the price. It started with a T, but I don't think I can find it, unfortunately. Maybe they just might not make one. Maybe they might not make a keyboard. I assume since they made a gaming mouse, they would have a gaming keyboard. But that one was like for sure the best for the price for a mouse. It was like under 50 bucks, and it felt so like good, and it was like as comparable to like the Logitech gaming mice for a much cheaper price. No, I'm on the second page already. I'll go one more page, but I unfortunately I do not. I don't usually use mechanical keyboards. I typically use wireless ones. So like my one forever was the K800 Logitech one, and then I replaced it with the MX Keys keyboard. So these are the two that I have always rocked, and I absolutely love them. Never had any issues with them. But yeah, I mean, there's lots of different brands here. Unfortunately, I have not done enough research to give you like a reputable one. I mean, I like Razer. Red Dragon seems to be one of the main ones that sells very well. So look into them. Maybe check out if you can find out a review for them. But I mean, they have some really good ones at really great prices. So yeah, I would possibly check out them to see if they're good enough, because they have some, like there's one for right here, $64.99. It's very well reviewed. So it might be a good one to look into. And this is the Red Dragon K556. And that one, the benefit of this one is that it's going to be in the price range that you wanted. And I mean, it looks to have everything you could want for basics. I'm not sure if you want like more aesthetics. Like it doesn't have something special in the, but it looks like pretty good. And you can even replace them and change them out. So I don't know. It seems very well rated. All right. Let's see. Ricky, if I store my files on Google Drive, and if Google Data Center gets damaged, will the files get affected? Also, please explain why Google Drive are cheaper than hard drives. What's the secret? So multiple things for that. Will Google Drive, Google Data Center gets damaged? Google Data Centers have lots of redundancies. So what that means is that exact same server will be backed up somewhere else, basically, and that server will be backed to someone else. So they have a lot of redundancies. They need to, of course. So that is why, basically, like, no, most likely, if one of their data centers is messed up, no, it would cause no issues to you whatsoever. It might have a delay, because like then they'll switch to route from this one to this one. That could happen, but it's more than likely no. Why is Google Drive so much cheaper than hard drives? That's basically because all of these streaming, or sorry, not streaming services, but online storage services have way more storage than you can imagine. And the whole idea behind that is so that, of course, they can sell and use it as high efficiency. Because when you buy these storages at that high of a capacity and that high of a bulk, you just get priced much, much cheaper. And although it seems to be cheaper, which again, if you're paying for 100 gigs online, it's $2 a month, I believe, at most of them. So it starts off much cheaper, right? $2 a month, but $2 times 12 is 24. And that means basically by the time 24 times 3, you're at 72. That for that price of $72, you would get more than 500 gigs. So it kind of depends on how you look at it in terms of it's cheaper by the month, yes, but like it can add up for sure after a long time. I heard it's supposed to work kind of like a sidekick did. That would be cool if it like flips like that. That would be a really cool feature, yes. So in Australia, it's Monday at 1:30 p.m. So ahead by not a full day, but yeah, just like more than 12 hours. That's crazy. That's cool. Time is cool. Out of stock phones at T-Mobile, Pixel, and Samsung phones. Yeah, it's pretty much always those two. Your thoughts on Linus Video creating an app where creators can join and pay, and members pay a fee? Would you consider joining? Creating an app where creators can join and members a fee. I haven't researched it, so I don't know what the app is. And maybe it was the one they were talked about a long time ago, from what I remember, like last year or something like that, where it was something like they were creating something, but it wasn't meant to be like against YouTube. It was like just its own thing or whatever. But I'm not sure. Creator app. If someone could tell me what it's called, I would look into it, but yeah, I don't know what it was. All right. What up, Briggy? What's up, sir? Got my note from T-Mobile. How are you enjoying your Note Ultra? I like it. Oh man, after I did the video though for how to improve the battery life, so much better, so much better. 2 hours longer. Actually no, sorry. So far it's about an hour and a half to an hour longer of screen on time, but in terms of usage, it's like 4 hours longer throughout the day. So huge improvement. So much better that way. I'm testing out this new case right now, spec. Very nice compared to what they have had before. Like a huge upgrade in case. It's always nice when you see like a company you've reviewed for a while, like come out with a new case. It's just like, wow, like you improved there. But yeah, I seem to be liking it so far so much. Got a new phone, got to check out too. Another flagship killer with some really great software updates. So very happy to see that. But yes, some phones coming soon. Hey, just stopping in. Got an early night tomorrow. Got it. Have a good one. Just got my Note 20 Ultra from T-Mobile, trade in my Pixel 4, got 500. Nice. Ricky, when buying a phone that said renewed, what exactly does that mean? So it's the same kind of thing as refurbished, but basically they renewed it following the refurbished guidelines of Amazon, which some people say is worse than refurbished. Some people say it's better than refurbished. I have not done enough research to see which way I would lean towards, but I know there are two sides to that coin. The better thing is typically with renewed, I think you get a good warranty for it because it's renewed, but you can always get an extended one from Amazon to back it up as well. How is the best walking app doing? Not 51st Day question, so good app too. Yes, if you saw on, I just posted on my social medias at YouTube Tech Guy. My son is walking at 11 months and it was really funny. I did some editing and put the Stone Cold theme song with it. So when he started walking, the shattered glass broke and he's walking like, so it was really funny. But yeah, it's crazy to see how fast kids grow. I know they always say that, and I've been telling myself that so I would realize it. But it's just like every time, like I'm like, oh man, your arms are getting longer, your hands can grab something bigger now. It's just like all these kind of things. You're like, wow, like it really does happen so fast. But yes, speaking of apps, 51st Date questions. Hey guys, if you want to help out the channel, one thing you can always do is download 51st Date questions and give us a great review. This is a fun app that I created a little while back, and it's great to download and play on a first date or just on any time with your significant other. It's kind of funny to see how the questions have changed over the years if it's someone you've been with for a long time, and you might not know, like, oh, that's how you feel about this now. So really great, really fun, and definitely something that I would say you should check out. Overall, I really recommend it. 51st Date questions available in the description for both iOS and Android. Wake up at 6:30 tomorrow. That is important because it's later over there. I wake up at 7 tomorrow, so yeah. Get some sleep, man. Don't be like me and be insomnia and just watching videos all night. I just have to remind you, you have the best tech channel out there. Love that you do a live show. Thank you so much, Paul. I really do appreciate that. What's up, Ricky? Do you think the ability to open several apps on a phone, of your phone on Windows, will come to other phones like the A30? Do you prefer Samsung Flow instead? Cheers from Brazil. Well, thank you very much from Brazil. Actually, here's the thing, and you might not know this, but the Samsung plugin for the high-end flagships, that's actually just a built-in feature, but that app you can totally download. It's from Microsoft. It's called Your Phone or Your Phone Companion. Let me check it. But it's one of those. It's just an app. The difference is that Samsung on their flagships put it on top so that it's even more like integrated into it. But you can totally download that app and do it. I was actually using it before it came on the Samsung phones on other phones. So it was the same thing. But yeah, it's Your Phone. Yeah, it's just called Your Phone Companion. Your Phone Companion, linked to Windows. And it's an app that pretty much anyone can download and you have it. That simple. You can even join the beta. Oh, do I prefer? And I do not like Samsung Flow, in my opinion, no. I would rather use Dex now, but that's obviously not on every device. I got an unlocked Note 9 for my wife for $350 on Amazon. That's really good price, man. That's awesome. Question, why won't Apple allow FaceTime on Google? Wouldn't they make money doing that? Yes, they would, but they would lose a competitive advantage. So here's the thing. If Apple were to suddenly give up FaceTime and iMessage, there would be less iPhone users. Those two things alone are what keeps so many people on an iPhone. I know so many people that are always really impressed by Android phones, actually, by far, way more than like, man, I wish Apple would do something like that, or like, man, that takes better quality pictures than my iPhone. All these kind of things, all the time. All the time I hear it. And obviously I have the latest and greatest, so it's more so that like, yeah, man, I wish I had that kind of phone. But they're always locked into the ecosystem. And that ecosystem, the two biggest pillars that keep that ecosystem locked up, keep that wall separating everyone else, is FaceTime and iMessage. So yes, they would make money. They could totally make money by licensing that software onto certain Android devices, make money for it like crazy, and they would get paid millions. But they would also lose millions upon millions upon millions, because as soon as that would happen, people would leave the iPhone. And I know people are like, oh no, that would never happen. I love Apple hardcore, manzana, man. But yeah, no, absolutely not. They would totally leave iPhone if that was able to be on other devices. Ricky, your thoughts on Apple versus Epic Games? I said my thoughts about 2 weeks ago when it kind of all went down. Here's the thing. So what I originally said was Apple is totally a monopoly when it comes to the App Store, and it's designed that way. It's designed that way because they want to have full control over what goes in their store, and they can always say it's for customers' best interest that we want to do this, even if it's honestly full of it. And the reason I say it's full of it is because they do make more money off of video games. They make more money off of games than a lot of other services. And here's the problem with that. That means that basically they treat games worse and more strict with games, so they want to get their money's worth for them and don't want anything to happen to it. The easiest way to explain this is what's happened with xCloud and what's also happened with Netflix. xCloud, you get to pay a monthly fee and stream a bunch of games. Netflix, you get to pay a monthly fee and stream a bunch of movies. Here's the difference. With Netflix, totally okay. Disney Plus just came out this last year. Totally okay. However, with xCloud, no. We can't do that because our customers would then not be secure. We don't know what kind of games Microsoft would have to put on there. We would have to test every single game, and we don't have the capacity to do that. This is actually the answers they've given. So it's the same exact service, just different platforms. Just movies versus gaming, and gaming is more profitable. Now you can even throw in there that, to be very facetious, that look, Apple wants Apple Arcade to succeed. They're about to launch a new Apple One service to basically one monthly fee, and you get Apple Arcade, you get iTunes, you get all these Apple Music, all these different Apple TV Plus, all these different services for one price. They don't want competition. They want to stop any kind of competition they can get, and that is a monopoly. It is. There is no way around it. What Apple's doing is owning a monopoly on their platform. They will always say it's for security purposes, that if they undo it, it would be, it could be the end, and it would be horrible for their customers, all that kind of stuff. Totally. Now, in terms of Epic, the way they did it, they knew what they were doing. They knew this would be a fight. They knew that it wouldn't be easy. They knew that they might not win. All that is true. All that is true. But are they right that 30% is too much? Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. 30% is too much. 15%, even 20% should be the norm. And there are other exceptions. Amazon is a complete exception. They don't have to pay the 30% to nobody. Apple says, well, it was because of the time they signed up, and almost no one has this kind of thing. But they also said in front of Congress that every app is treated the same. And that's a bold-faced lie. So yeah, that's what I think about Apple and Epic. I don't think Epic is without fault. They completely have a lot of issues. They knew what they were getting into. They knew what they were playing at. So that it is what it is. But yeah. Where was I? Help with the campaign and no internet S10 easy fix. If you help, we have UL Cellular. Help with camping and no internet. You're saying that when you go camping, you have no internet. There isn't an easy fix for that. It's your service provider. If your service provider doesn't have internet signal out there when you're camping, that's kind of it. The thing could be an easy fix is if you have another friends or family that has a different service like Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, and maybe they have signal when they're out there. Maybe you can pay them before they go on the camping trip with you to pay for a hotspot. So it might be, whatever, like $10 to add a hotspot for a couple days with 5 gigs of hotspot. And then they can give you a hotspot and then you can use it that way. Do you think U.S. government should make Apple be more cross-platform in their software available on Google and Windows to make sure they're doing what consumer wins? So I think that's too political, to be honest, because I say yes, they are a monopoly. What the government should do at that point is, beyond what I'm willing to get into. But I will say that maybe you can make them like Google. Google did the same thing to Fortnite. They took them off the Play Store. I can still download Fortnite right now on any Android device I want. Doesn't matter if it's on the Google Play Store. Doesn't matter at all because you can always sideload an APK file on Google. Can't do that with Apple, but maybe that should be what you could do. I have not seen your video on battery life on the Ultra. I haven't done it yet. It's coming out Tuesday. I'd said that earlier, but yeah, it is coming out Tuesday. What is the Fold 2 camera performance? Oh, megapixel, 64, 64 megapixel, 12 megapixel, and 12 megapixel. Yes, that is correct. When do you think pre-orders are going to start for the Tab S7 Plus here in the States? I said that earlier. It will be on September 2nd. If you already reserved it, you could get it as September 1st, and it will launch on September 18th for the Tab S7 Plus. They delayed it basically a full month, so instead of launching with the Note, they pushed it back to launch with the Fold 2. How much are they really going to want down for the Fold 2? Have no idea. The only carrier that is going to carry it though is AT&T, so that's the only one that would want money down if I'm not mistaken. I have no idea how much AT&T would want. I would get the unlocked version, so I'm paying full price, hopefully minus trade-in, but we'll see. Go to T-Mobile. They have an insider codes for current customers to get $200 off 5G phone purchase. That is awesome. Go check that out. That is a good deal. They have had those in the past. That is how I got a good discount off of my OnePlus McLaren last year. I had a discount for getting one of the early 5G phones, and it was awesome. Thanks, man, but I've tried this phone app already on my A30, and it's not even possible. The mirror screen on it, some kind of downgrade on budget phones. That's why Samsung Flow to screen mirror my phone. Got it, huh? I mean, I guess it could be something to do with the, like that they downgraded it. That is interesting. I wasn't using screen mirror on the other phones beforehand, so I guess I just never used that feature. I don't think that feature was around. I think that was a newer feature they added to it. But yeah, now I just use Dex if I want to mirror my phone. But you can also use the phone companion on the, I guess, not on every device, but yeah, Flow I just felt was like such a downgrade from SideSync. I hadn't used it in the past year, but before that, it really just annoyed me. So yeah. Let's see. Apple diabolical company just take the right to repair or data recovery. Yeah. Yep, that's a whole nother thing that Apple is kind of really messed up about. They're starting to let some more third-party people in now, but yeah. Based on a video I recently saw, it kind of seems like Epic Games is trying to become a brand like Steam. Oh, they're completely coming. Yeah, Epic has been trying to become a rival to Steam for a while now. And they've gotten some pretty good partnerships because they're actually charging less than Steam charge in terms of what developers get. So again, right, Apple has a platform. They charge developers 30% of whatever they make because they're using the platform. Steam, I think, did something similar. It was something like 30% or something like that. So Epic started charging 15%. And so developers were like, well, what? We get more money over here. And then so Steam did change some of their developers, especially when it came to indie developers, because indie developers weren't making as much as the big ones. So yeah, so that kind of changed for sure. Thank you, sir. You're helpful, honest, a lot of info from one person, not biased. I try to be. I mean, I have my biases. I think we all do, but yeah. Came in late. Hope all is well. Would there be any way to dual boot the MS Duo and run Android and Windows 10? Then I'll buy it. I doubt it. I sincerely doubt it. Possibly with the next one, which is not the Duo, but the God, what was the tablet laptop version? That might be interesting to see if they would do something like that. But yeah, no, not on that one. I forgot what the tablet laptop version. If someone can look it up, yeah, maybe I'll just try it right here. Microsoft laptop tablet combo. That's just going to be a Surface, isn't it? Duo and Neo, Surface Neo. So the Surface Neo will be a Windows-based version of the Duo, and that would be cool if they put something like that, but it has not happened. I would love to have a dual-booted Android Windows 10 computer. Third parties rely on Epic. That's what the judge ruling was. They can't take away the certification for your other platforms and third parties. That is true. The judge did rule that way. For now, we'll see how it goes after that. Well, you can do on Apple, but you have to jailbreak it. Exactly, you have to jailbreak it in order to do it, to sideload an app. Open the bootloader, yeah. Ricky, how can you say 30% is too much as even PlayStation, Xbox, Google charge this? I think they're all too much. The whole point is if Apple changes to 20%, it will be a domino effect. It will be a complete domino effect. And I believe Microsoft, PlayStation, and Google would all be forced to do it. Apple is the biggest one. Its App Store makes more than anyone else. So that's why they are going for Apple first. So yes, I am fully aware that 30% is the standard in video game consoles as well as even Google's store as well. But that's the point, that if developers can actually make more money off of their games, then it's better off. And there's an argument to be made, right? Because it was a lot of money that they had to invest, market, and grow the stores. But that was it. To maintain the App Store, to maintain the PlayStation Store, to maintain the Xbox Store, to maintain the Google stores, really isn't that much money in comparison to how much money they're making. That's the difference. And that's the argument, is that, well, you're really not providing right now. You provided it when you had to start everything, when you had to develop everything, when you had to do all that stuff. But that's the argument. And again, that's the argument. So that's why I do think 30% is too much, even though that other ones charge it and it is the going rate. It was the going rate when all of these started as well, which technology moves. It moves. And if we wanted to keep moving more, giving developers more money over time will cause developers to be able to make more as well. They will be able to make more jobs will be created, all that kind of stuff. It can only help further game development if developer companies make more. So that's my logic behind it. Again, it's an argument. Completely is. What do you think of the S6 versus the Tab S6 versus the Tab S5e? The Tab S6 is better because it has the S Pen and the AMOLED display. Below the Tab S6, you have a choice. If you want an AMOLED display, the Tab S5e is perfect. If you want an LCD with an S Pen, the Tab S6 Lite is perfect. So those are both, basically. You get both with the Tab S6. So I would choose the Tab S6 if you want the pen. If not, the Tab S5e is really good. Do you know if there's a G-Cam for the Note 20 Ultra yet? I've gotten a few on there, but none that really have taken a much better photo. So I'm still looking. But there's a lot of new ones coming out for G-Cam. So I think it will develop for it. I totally think it will work by next week, for sure. How much will it be for the Fold 2? Sorry I was late. It'll be either $1,900 or $1,999. In the UK, they already have started the pre-orders. It was $100 cheaper than last year's Fold 2. So that could mean that we will get it cheaper, but a lot of other rumors have said, nope, it's gonna be $999. So it's either gonna be $2,000 or $1,900, one or the other. Tech rant, LOL. Yep, gotta get into it sometimes. I bought my renewed Note 9 from Amazon, $390 unlocked, 90 days to see if I like it. It was perfect, nothing wrong. And battery so far is very good. Awesome, that's great, Warren. So yeah, so those are the kind of things like renewed, I don't mind getting, like I never mind getting it. I've gotten only, I think, one phone. I didn't have an issue with it renewed wise. So I don't have an issue with it, but I've had a very small testing. So that's all I can say for that. Facebook will lose advertising revenue for iOS. How? So that was really big, actually, that affected a lot of people on YouTube last year, actually, with COPPA. So how advertisers make money is by tracking specific specific things about you. So if I'm Facebook, I can tell an advertiser, hey, you want to target California skaters or California people, California men and women that are into skating that are age 18 to 24. I can totally do that for you. You pay me this much money in Facebook ads and I will totally target that market for you. Great. And I can even tell you like all these different things so that like I can retrack them. I can do all these kind of tracking things. Same with Google. Hey, we make our own money. You want to be able to pinpoint someone in Texas that loves barbecue that lives in Austin. Totally, we can do that. We can totally do that. Absolutely. Let's do it. Here's the thing that happened last year with COPPA. COPPA made it so that if you are under a certain age, you can no longer be tracked. So all of that information that an advertiser could get is now out the window. That was for the under a certain age range. So that was basically anyone under the age of 14, I believe, in California, which then had to go nationwide because if one state did it, they all had to follow suit in terms of for kids. So that was COPPA. Now with Facebook, it's the same principle, just on iOS. iOS, again, a lot of people use Facebook. Facebook suddenly can't track anyone with iOS 14 with all of those parts of it. So if you now like to go to Best Buy, you're not checking in. So I don't know you like to go to Best Buy if I'm Facebook. I also don't know if you like this barbecue place. I don't know if you like this skate shop over here. I can't track you. That's what it is. So all of that tracking is eliminated on iOS 14 basically. And Apple is saying, well, you know, our customers don't need to give you that information, Facebook. And Facebook is upset about it because it's like, you are costing us a lot of ad revenue because we cannot target these people like we used to on their phone. Now, this doesn't change anything if you go to Facebook on a desktop, because that they can fully still track. So that's the idea behind it and why they're losing lots of money because of it. And that's the thing I always tell people, like when people are so concerned about their privacy, like I don't want people knowing what I do on the internet. All that it is ads. It's just ads. People just want to know how to give personalized ads to you. That's the majority of it. Are there hackers? Are there facetious people? Are there all that kind of stuff? Absolutely, there's all of that on the internet. But most of the time, people just want to track you so that they can get ad revenue. That's it. For instance, ad revenue on my app that I have on Android and iOS, 50 First Date Questions, went down as soon as COPPA and all of these other things were implemented. And it was because, again, if you were a certain age, it couldn't pop up personalized ads. It could pop up generic ads, but generic ads are like dirt cheap compared to personalized ads. For developers, as well as advertisers don't have to pay that much for it. So if I'm Nike and I want to do a Facebook ad, I do not have to pay much for non-targeted ads, but I want to pay for targeted ads because that's going to get me more money. So that's the whole thing behind it. Hopefully that helps. So Verizon will be getting the Fold Z2. I didn't hear that. Could be. I have only heard AT&T was getting it. That's the only confirmed carrier I heard. We'll find out in 2 days. Samsung should be ashamed of a 1080p display, 60 Hz, plastic, 2020 in my opinion. Looking at what else is available for $1,000 price point, what's yours? No, I completely agree. I still haven't gotten a chance to do this video, but I was gonna do a complete video on the two devices that no one should buy from Samsung this year is the standard Note 20 and the standard Tab S7. Why? Because if you were thinking about getting a Note 20, you should get a Note 10 Plus. Because if you're buying one today and you have a choice between either of those two, the Note 10 Plus is actually a better upgrade than the Note 20 would be from whatever phone you're getting. Same thing with the Tab S7. The Tab S7, although you do have a faster processor, you're actually losing the AMOLED display, which doesn't make sense. So why not just get a slightly slower model, the Tab S6, you get the AMOLED display and you get an amazing tablet with almost all the same bells and whistles, and it's cheaper now than the Tab S7. So yeah, those would be the two that I wouldn't recommend anyone really buy. Let's see. Wondering if there will be many case choices for the Z Fold 2. Was there many for the Fold 1? No, there wasn't many at all for the Fold 1. But the Fold 1 sold a lot less than what they plan on selling for the Fold 2. So Samsung only produced so many. I don't even think it was 1 million for the Fold 1. This one, apparently, they're trying to get to 2 to 3 million. We'll see if they get there, but that's 2 to 3 times the amount. So case manufacturers probably will make more cases for it. I don't think a lot, but they will make more for it. Bit worried about Samsung because of all the updates is limited. This is still the case. I have an S6 and goes to Android 10, but will it go further? How long do they support their devices? Honestly, I don't care. Android updates are bullshit. They are crap. Like, Android updates do not matter. What matters is security patch updates, and those go for longer. But the entire stupidity of Android updates being irrelevant, they're not. They're not. Why? Samsung's version of Android is far ahead of Google's. If you had, what was it, an S6, you had so many features that Android didn't get till Android 8, till Android 9. Like, do not kid yourself in thinking that Android updates are important, because they're really not. They're really not. Samsung, LG, OnePlus, these companies are where Android gets their updates from. You want to know the big update on the next version of Android, Android 11? Recording your screen, video recording your screen. That has been on Samsung for the past 2 years. They're barely getting it on Android this year. So it's like, it's not that important. It really isn't. Security updates are. Security patch updates are very important, and those go for longer than Android OS updates. But also, you have an S6. An S6, a Galaxy S6 or a Tab S6, actually? Because a regular S6 was a long time ago. But regardless, even if you've had that phone for 5 years now, getting Android 10 is a big deal for that. I'd be actually very surprised if you're getting Android 10. That's really, really new compared to S6. But for a Tab S6, you probably will get Android 11, yeah. But again, it's not that big of a deal, especially on a tablet. Your more concern would be security patch updates, and those do go for longer. Ricky, why did the Amazon Fire Phone fail? Did you ever review it? No, I didn't review it. And it failed because it was garbage. The only reason people buy Fire tablets is because they're dirt cheap. Dirt cheap. If Amazon would come out with the Fire Phone 2 today, they would have to charge $200 for it. And maybe people would buy it. And that might be if it was $200 with a free year of Amazon Prime, which would effectively make it less than $100. But yeah, so that's what Amazon would have to do. And that's the only reason the Amazon version of Google, of Android, is stripped down. It doesn't have Google services. It's not as good. So yeah, it's never gonna be an actual competitor in terms of what they have to offer. Yes, Amazon is the biggest thing to buy all of your stuff from, but that's very different from the services you use to do things on the internet, to do social media, to do everything. So yeah, no, the Fire Phone failed because it didn't have apps, because apps costed more. Apps actually cost more most of the time on Fire OS. So yeah, so that's why it failed. Very simple and easily, and everything else, it didn't have anything really to highlight it. But yeah, if they had a Fire Phone 2 and if they sold it for $200 now with, competitive specs, it might be interesting. But again, that's the only way that you would ever sell a Fire device, by making it dirt cheap. And people know the name Amazon. People are trusting the name of Amazon. And that's why people would buy it today. Oh yeah, how would you even make a case for the Flip? You make a 2 case. They did it. The Fold made a case. The Fold came with a case. So did the Flip. Both came with a case. It's basically half. The Flip was half, like it covered half on this side, and that's how it worked. And then the Fold, same thing. You could just slide half, and that's it. 1080p is fine for phones displayed. It depends on dots per inch. Absolutely. Screen would make the phone run faster, and refresh rate is important. Yep. Have you seen the stats on the Note 20 versus the Note 20U sales in the US? I wonder if the Note 20U actually is selling more and people think even with the higher price. I don't know that. I know it was selling a lot more in Korea, but I do not know the US numbers, unfortunately. I don't think they've come out. And probably if Samsung isn't doing well with the Note 20, they're not going to come out. One of the updates on Android 11 I like Samsung to have is a smart home control tab when pushing the power button. That is a cool update, but you can easily make a widget. Google Home has a widget for that. So, and then you can put a widget on your lock screen with Samsung's version of Good Lock, which has a lock screen app. So you can put widgets on your lock screen. There you go. So again, these things have been around for a long time and you can implement them in different ways. But that's why I'm always like Android 11, like I don't care for it. Yeah, I do agree that is a cool feature, but I honestly forget about it on my Android 11 Pixel phone. I have that feature. I still 9 times out of 10 go to the actual home app or just use my Google Voice to control my home devices, even though that feature's there, because I keep forgetting about it. To be fair, if it's your main phone, you probably wouldn't forget about it, but since I have so many that don't have that feature, I don't remember it. Fire phone burnt out the end puff of smoke. Not to mention the Amazon Fire phone had ads on your lock screen. Yes, that was annoying too. Imagine if OtterBox tried making a case for the Flip in the Defender version. That would be hilarious. You couldn't close it. All right, guys, we will call that a show. It's been a very informative one, I think, today. So hopefully you guys liked the little details and information I gave you. And again, these are my opinions. It's not necessarily they're right. These are just my opinions. And you have yours, and let me know yours in the comment section. Thank you as always so much for watching, guys. Please give it a like, thumbs up before you head out. It really does help. And yeah, Tuesday is my birthday, so I should have some fun. And we won't say about how old I am. Thank you again as always so much for watching. This has been RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Thank you for watching our video. If you liked it, why don't you go ahead and subscribe up there. Make sure you follow us on social media right here. And of course, check out our latest video up there. And right down here, you're going to find the perfect video for you. Or at least that's what YouTube tells me. Thanks again.